Hey guys, what's going on? I hope you had a good weekend. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I do a ton of different stock alert service reviews. I look at courses, although after this course I'm not sure how many more I'm going to do. This was a lot of work. But I try and do some, and I just want to try and share some of the information that I find, and which courses are good, which are bad, which services are good, and which ones are bad as well. So like I say, hit the subscribe button and let's get started on today's review. So I basically have found this channel, Live Traders. They're really popular, 300,000 subscribers on YouTube. I don't know if you guys have seen them yet. If you haven't, go and check them out though, because they have a ton of free information on their channel all about candlestick trading. This is them here. You can see the different videos. They're all really good videos, all really popular. They have a lot of views. You see 500,000 views on these different candlestick videos. So I noticed that in Sidekick Traders, one of the discords that I co-own, they were talking about this course that these guys have, and in particular the course called Professional Trading Strategies, this one right here, and how in depth and how good it was. So I thought I'd check it out, so I got hold of it and I've been working my way through it for the last like 3 days, and it is awesome. It is really thorough. It's probably the most in-depth practical trading course that I've ever tried. My head is still spinning from trying to get through all the material and try and benefit from it. And I think it's something that I'm going to have to keep going back to over and over and over again and try and drill down any part of it that I want to really focus on. So the course itself is apparently, well, at one point seemed to sell for $3,499, but at the moment at least it's at $1,997, which is actually, that's a lot of money for a course, but this course is like the only one you'll ever need if you're interested in technical analysis. So they don't deal at all with fundamental stuff. It's all candlesticks all the time, and it is monstrous in a good way. So you can see on the sales page here, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to go and check this out. This is what they have to say about the course. Basically, that it is 16 hours of video lessons. It definitely is. I've been through it all. It's a lot. 525-page digital manual to go along with the lessons, which I'll show you in a second. Basically everything that you'd ever need to know for technical trading. They also like to say that they bridge the gap. So basically, the advantage of this course, as opposed to just reading stuff on, I don't know, Google or even on YouTube sometimes, is that you're getting taught this by Jared, who is a professional, long-term professional trader, and he goes through and explains what really happens in real life and shows you all the different charts and kind of like gives a commentary as well. To be honest, I've actually found using this 525-page digital manual to be more useful. The videos are just so time consuming for me that it's just so difficult for me to sit there and watch these things, but they do have a lot more additional details than what's actually in the workbook itself, and you get more of it like a commentary from Jared himself. So yeah, they give a little bit on the sales page about what you expect, and I can show you the contents of the course so you can get a little bit more detail than what is talked about here. But like I said, it's a technical trading course, and it goes into every single thing you could ever think of to do with candlestick trading, every combination of candlesticks, every combination in combination with other things. It's super in depth. It really has made me realize just how simple I make my trading. Like, I just don't look at all the details that I probably should be, and that's something that a more experienced trader can take away from this. It's great for a beginner trader just because it covers everything. More experienced traders, like I've been trading about 8 years I think now, and I've done a lot of this stuff, but it really has opened my eyes to just the level of detail that the really good traders go into when they're considering setups and managing their trades and things. So there's a bit in this course for everybody, from beginner all the way through to fairly advanced trader, I'd say. There'll be stuff in here that's proprietary that obviously I'm not going to show you, but there's some proprietary stuff which I've never really seen before, and it's really cool. It's not rocket science, but it's really cool. So they've got everything in here. So let's have a look at the guide. Hopefully it's here. So here's the 520 something page guide. If you scroll down here, 525 pages of awesome stock trading teachings. So I'll show you the first few parts of this so that you can kind of get a better idea for what's in this course, because that's one of the pet peeves, right? When you buy a course for $2,000, you kind of want to know like what exactly is in it, because I've seen courses where $2,000 will get you like really basic information that maybe takes a few hours to go through and you really haven't got much from it. And I've seen courses like this where you spend $2,000 and you get a lot, like a lot. So hopefully this is the whole point of doing these reviews for you guys, is that you can say, okay, well, I've got a better feel at the end of this, what's in this course and will it benefit me before you spend your $2,000. So here's the first page of the contents. The start is like most trading courses where they talk about the truth of trading. It's basically where they say you're going to fail miserably for years and then finally you'll become profitable and why lots of people struggle and this kind of stuff. So interesting but not that valuable in my opinion. Candlesticks and trends, I can jump and show you really quickly. I'm not going to show the whole course obviously, but I'll try and show a couple of pages here and there to kind of whet your appetite for the course. So this is the candlestick trends pages, so you can get an idea of the quality of the presentation. So the slides are well put together. They work on a whole bunch of different time frames, which is awesome but also really confusing. They have a lot of different lingo as the course goes on and abbreviations, which is also awesome because they're including everything, but again it's kind of confusing. You can see the quality of the charts, pretty nice, right? They're easy to read, it's not blurry, the resolution's good, everything's fairly high quality, which is what you'd hope for a $2,000 course. And you can start to see the type of chart patterns that they show. Probably familiar with some of these, but this goes on for dozens and dozens and dozens of pages just to go over the initial candlestick stuff. So we go back to the table of contents. You can see that these are the different, they talk about the different time frames, the styles, the basic candlestick language, market cycles, about uptrends and downtrends and sideways and consolidations, all that kind of stuff's in there. Then they launch into what looks about 80 pages of the essential patterns. So this covers everything and it gets extremely in depth in here. So again, I'll try and show you a couple of pages out of this. I don't want to give away all their stuff, so not that I really could, because I have to basically show this for about 20 hours. Let me just find a page in that section. So this is like a random page in that section. You can see that they put like all the different criteria, and they put like their where to short it here, and they put some notes, they put the volume, and this is very much a volume and price action based course. Pretty much nothing else comes into it in terms of patterns and how to trade them. So I'll show you now a couple of pages here. So this is the sort of thing that I like, is they do go into level 2 later on in the course. Level 2 in combination with patterns to make sure that when you start to size up your positions, you're actually getting good fills and things like that. So there is a real like connection between the real world and just looking at back-tested charts kind of thing. So I do like that about the course quite a bit. Anyway, trying to make a video on this stuff is pretty difficult just because there's so much of it, and I also don't want to show too much of what they actually teach because that wouldn't be fair to them. So they talk about 3 and 4 bar plays. There's a lot of counting candlesticks, which is not something I've ever really taken into account in the simple technical stuff I do. A lot of 7 bar, 4 bar, 3 bar turnaround plays and things. It really does complicate things a lot. I think if you're going to get the most from this course, I think you're going to have to hone in on like one strategy and just look for that for like a month in your trading and perfect that before you move on to like all the other different like setups and things. So you can start to see some of the problems that I'm finding is the abbreviations. So they start abbreviating everything, turnaround bars and breakout bars and COC bars and all this stuff. You can start to see here in the pattern booster section, which is awesome, but it becomes so complex that I literally feel like I need to lie down for like the next week after going through all of this. The pattern booster section though is awesome. It's what I've always tried to put into my trading, but not in as much meticulous detail as this, where you basically are trying to confirm with as many different indications as possible that a pattern is actually happening, right? So it's rather than just having one or two indications that something is happening, you want 10 or 20 or 15 or something that's at the maximum you can get. And that's what these pattern boosters are. They're basically additional confirmations depending on different candlestick setups, different, all these different criteria. It's a really good chapter. It's 60 pages or something. I'll skip there really quick and look. It's definitely part of their secret sauce. I don't want to give away too much of that without you guys actually spending any money. So this is a section on pattern boosters here. So the purpose of pattern boosters, basically these are all the pattern boosters they have. So when all of these occur, then it's like go time, all in. They don't advocate that, but you know what I mean. Like you put in all these different conditions and you're ready to rock and roll. So the pattern boosters is probably my favorite chapter of the whole thing. I think whenever I do these courses, it helps me my trading. It helps me focus on being more detail orientated. So if you like trading gaps, you're not really sure what gap trading is, it's awesome. Marion in Sidekick Traders does gap trades really well. This is a whole section on gaps, so about 50 pages on trading gaps, looking at different levels of support, level 1, 2, and 3. All this stuff, really good. Super plays, also a really good chapter. Basically, we can skip there really quick. 223. So we go to 220 here. These are the super plays. So there's a whole chapter on these different plays. Oh, and by the way, they put these quotes along the bottom here, usually from himself, Jared Wesley, and it's just a nice little touch. So these are the sort of things you can expect: turnaround bars or TBs, 3BPs, RSs, BTs, TTTs, BTs, all these combinations of stuff. Really complex, really starts to blow your head. Maybe you like this sort of thing and you're a really technical, detail-oriented trader, but for me it's just a little bit too much. Let's see, so hopefully this has given you some idea what's in this. Let's see what the rest of the course is here. Oh, yeah, so this stuff's actually really good. The order entry stuff goes into all the details of looking at level 2, making sure that you're looking at the spreads, all that kind of stuff, and trying to minimize your costs with brokerages and fees and things like that. So that's a really good section. It's quite a big section, 70 pages or something all about it. Really good, especially for beginners, but also for intermediate traders as well. So I think that gives kind of an overview. There is some psychology stuff, and I even think there's an audio file for hypnosis, which comes with this, which is really interesting. Never seen that come with a trading course before, so kind of cool. So a whole section on trade management, as you'd expect, why it's important. You can have a quick look at that if you want, page 316. Like, this is a university course in itself. It's just totally full on. So why it's important, there's a million ways to manage, blah 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 blah. So again, it's like lots of notations, so you have to be okay with that. Go through all or nothing, blah blah blah. See, bar by bar management, trailing stops, all this stuff. Like, I think I'm gonna stop doing course reviews. This is crazy trying to explain what's in a course and how valuable it is, or without showing every single page. So the rest of the course is trade management, business of trading, so planning for success, tracking your trades, all that kind of stuff comes into it. And yeah, it's an insanely awesome and huge course. Is it worth $2,000? Totally, it is, if you're prepared to put in the time and effort. Because this is just a workbook. There's also like 14 hours of video that go along with this, explaining it all in detail. You know, if I was buying this and I was a new trader, it'd probably be 3 months of work in this course. Probably more, because like I'm assuming, like, you know, when you know something relatively well, you forget that other people that are new don't. So if you were absolutely brand new, this would be so overwhelming, like absolutely just overwhelming, because you wouldn't really even like you wouldn't even know what a candlestick was. So then when that whole concept itself would have to sink in, and then you have to go through all these different combinations of candlesticks and all the psychology behind like why there's a tail on this one and why this one goes red then green then red then green then huge red then huge green. Okay, that's an indication of this. Like, it's a lot. So my feeling is that this course would be great for intermediate traders. New traders probably would definitely would, in my opinion, we need to do a bunch of free stuff, maybe on the on YouTube or something, to really get the basics before they launch into this, because technically the basics are in here, but it's so overwhelming. It would just be crazy. So I think that covers it. I mean, the best bet here is if you're interested in this course and you want to know more before buying it, just send me an email or leave a comment below, and I can try and answer some of your questions. Like I said, courses are difficult to review. They're really difficult to review. So I tend to do more stock alert services, but I couldn't resist doing this one because it's so good. So hopefully that helps. I think overall I give the course like an A. It's well presented, it's very professionally done, and it really delivers a lot of knowledge. So alright, well, if you have any questions about it, just let me know and I'll try and answer them as best I can. Alright, cheers.